what is going on? It is 12 noon on Wednesday. My name is John Chrismo, and this is brought to you here by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We've got a special edition of Ask the Instructor today where we're talking about this COVID-19 coronavirus, and not really necessarily talking about the virus itself, but how this virus is ultimately going to be a catalyst that causes a lot of change in the real estate industry as we know it, as we've known it. Yes, there will still be a real estate industry. That's not going anywhere. The real estate industry isn't going anywhere, but it's changing. It's changing, and you need to be able to change and adapt with it to a lot of new things that they're not necessarily new, but because of this pandemic, epidemic, it's forcing the world to change. And that could be a change for the better, or it could be a change for the worse. And really, right now, you should be trying to do everything you can to try to capitalize on this to make it a change for the better. To take advantage of, if we're going to dive into this and really all the things going on now, but look, here's the things going on. You're probably at home now. You're maybe still out and about, depending on where you are in the world and when you're watching this. If you're watching this live right now, there's definitely been a lot more scaled back. There's a lot more we've scaled back here at the Tampa School of Real Estate. And, we've been in panic mode since last week of trying to figure out, how do we ensure that we could still do what we've been doing, helping people get a real estate license. And the first thing that you want to do is not panic about this. Yes, there's craziness going on right now. There is panic going on right now. There are bad things happening around the world right now. But this is temporary. This is temporary. But what's not temporary are going to be the effects on the changes that have been forced on the market because of this. Here's some of the changes. Right now, we're actually scheduling a webinar later tonight at 5 o'clock. So at 5 o'clock, we're going to do a webinar. We're bringing on, somebody that I've worked closely with for many years. I've known for many years. He's actually personally our video genius here at the Tampa School of Real Estate, and he runs a company called Hover Imaging. And, one of the huge things right now is people still want a place to live, but people are afraid to go out of their homes. And so you need to be able to adapt your business to be able to serve people in their homes. And you see restaurants doing this. We're doing this right now at Tampa School of Real Estate. Again, the introduction of, and not introduction of technology, but the almost forced adoption of technologies that are out there. At Tampa School of Real Estate, we're trying to, right now, we're working with the DBPR and a platform to be able to switch over our classes to live streaming for the time being. So we're working on that right now. If you're currently enrolled in a class, call us for an update on your current class, 813-333-2676. If you haven't heard from us yet, there's not any changes yet, but you may still be hearing from us. So we will contact you directly if there are any changes to your classes. We have been making some changes. Not everything has been announced yet, so stay with us here. Call us, 813-333-2676. If you are feeling sick, obviously, of course, stay at home. Continue to isolate yourself. We're still waiving transfer fees to online courses if you want to go ahead and switch over to online. But this live streaming option, this is going to more closely mimic what you would be experiencing in class. And this is a great example of how not just us as a school, but how the entire real estate education industry, at least in Florida, was not prepared for this shift in the market. The market has shifted right now, especially for us, because we're basically hitting the deadline of, hey, look, we've got to, figure out how we could, either have extremely small classes or to be able to provide, because, maybe you are, and now I'm not a doctor, look to the CDC, the Department of Health, or whatever governmental organization for advice about health. I'm not here to give you guys advice about health. I'm here to give you advice about your business and how to adapt your business. So we've been making changes here because we've had to make changes, and we're trying to grind through the regulatory process to expedite this so we could get back to serving our students as quickly as possible. But that's what you need to be thinking about right now. How do you change your business to be able to serve clients in this new economy? And at the very least, we have a temporary economy that's very different. There's a temporary economy that's very different. There's a massive shift right now of money happening. There's money being literally deleted on Wall Street, deleted from existence, But at the same time, the government is infusing like $1 trillion into the economy. So it's not that the money's going away, the money is literally being redistributed. So if you've been hoping some wealth will get redistributed, that's what happens when there's economic changes like this. Whenever there's a price correction in stock markets and real estate, there's shifts in the market, and the people that are able to survive it and really build a stronger business beyond that are the ones that are able to adapt and change their business. So like I said, for any of you guys that are interested, we're going to be doing a free webinar today just because we want to still be there to provide you information in the way that we can. You know, with us, we're great at live streaming. We're masters of live streaming. So as soon as we have the regulatory approval, we're going to be offering a lot of live streaming options for you that will continue to allow you to learn. But we've got this expert here that knows about virtual tours. They can explain really even in a non-crisis situation where people aren't practicing social distancing, where people aren't wanting to stay at home and not go out of their house, but where people will still want your product or services. Again, look at restaurants and the way they've adapted to offering takeout models. And there's really two things going on. Either a restaurant, for example. We all understand restaurants. We've all been to a restaurant before. And a restaurant is one of two things happening right now. They're either shutting down completely or they're switching and trying to adapt to a takeout delivery only model, which a lot of businesses, it was a very easy switch for them. There's businesses that rely on drive-thrus and whatnot that are doing okay right now. They're maybe even expanding, who knows, because there's been a shift in the demand. There's still people out there. People still need things. Now, yes, priorities have changed, but it depends on their situation how much priorities have changed. And this is really just about being prepared. Just about being prepared. It's the same thing that the government's doing right now to ensure that we're prepared for things to get worse. Because when you're prepared, it's not so scary when things outside of your control change. You know, here we were freaking out. We were panicking of what are we going to do? How are we going to fix this? We can't stop a virus. You can't stop a virus. Altogether, you know, if we again, follow what the CDC has been saying, they're saying that yes, that should curb this and this should help this go away as quickly as possible. But again, this period is changing the market. If you have not, FaceTime, for example, if you've ever used FaceTime, and you understand the ability and the power to be able to connect with somebody over a distance, if you've already done that before, that's absolutely something you could be incorporating in the way that you communicate with your clients. Because there's a lot of things going on the side of this because, right now, this very moment, there's not going to be as much activity. There's not going to be as much physical interaction. People might not want to meet you to go on a showing, or maybe they do meet you and you're just keeping your distance, or maybe you rely on open houses, and open houses are going to be one of the things right now that are probably going to get hurt. You're probably not going to have a huge turnout at an open house this weekend. But here's what you can do. You could take advantage of the tools and technology that already exist that you just need to implement into your business. Because if you look at the real estate industry as a whole, real estate professionals, both young and old, real estate professionals that have more experience, they get a bad rap for not being up to date with technology. But I've seen a lot of people that are of an older age that practice real estate that are sometimes even more sophisticated with technology than I am. And that's saying a lot. So those are the people that are sophisticated with technology. They're able to capitalize on technology because technology is your friend right now. If it wasn't for technology, I wouldn't be able to speak to you right now. If it wasn't for technology, we wouldn't be able to keep some of our staff that, because again, if you're not feeling well, we don't want you here. We want you to stay home, to isolate, to follow what the CDC says, to follow what the government is telling us to do. And by utilizing technology, we're able to keep our business running. We're able to have continuity of our business because of technology existing. But if we did not use technology, this live streaming option, if that technology didn't exist, we'd be in the dark ages of where we would have to basically just shut down and not offer classes or have extremely limited classes. And again, the thing is that these changes are happening right now. It's not how you control the changes, because we really can't control these changes, but what we can control is how we respond to the changes. And so right now you might not be able to do much. Maybe you are not feeling well yourself, and you're practicing staying home, staying away from people, trying to contain it if you do have any sort of variation of the disease, or maybe you're just sick somehow and you're just going to stay home to be safe. Look, you probably have some time on your hands that you didn't have. So the question is, what are you doing? The time is really the big question of all this right now. And it's really the biggest question of how long is this going to last? What ultimately is the time frame for before things start getting better? How long before it gets worse, if it gets worse? How long is this going to affect the economy? How long is this going to cause ripple effects? Maybe you're in a situation where your company is maybe struggling right now to adapt. Maybe they're refusing to adapt. Because again, there's a lot to it. There's a multitude. So I don't want to make any generalizations about anybody's decisions right now. Everybody has their own reasons for their own decisions. And there's a lot of factors right now that we can't just put a blanket statement on this person's right or that person's wrong. But one of the questions for you to help figure out what's going to be right for you and what's going to be right for your family, what is the way that you can continue to provide for your family to be able to still have a future in the post-coronavirus world? Because there will be a post-coronavirus world. What's the time? How long is it going to take us to get there? What is the time frame that I have to work with? What is the time frame I need to be able to survive before I begin to thrive again? How long is my savings going to last? How much credit can I use to get through this process? And really, what is it that I can do? And so really the next steps is the other thing I want to put on here. So first thing, you want to be thinking about the timing of everything. Okay, what is the timing of this? When do we do this? When do we have to do that? How are we prepared to take these next steps to be able to continue your business? If that's the road you're choosing, if you're choosing to try to expand your business, because that's what you should be doing, because if you're not expanding your business right now, your business will contract with the economy. Those are the two things right now. Your business is either going to expand, it's going to adapt and expand, and really that's just a question of how long, or you might be just trying to wait this out. And I would advise you against just waiting this out and hoping everything is going to be the same, because so much has already changed. People are going to be much more comfortable with this whole telecommuting, this whole teleconferencing, the live streaming of video. Kids in schools, they're being forced to switch to online courses. We wish we could have switched over to that easily there, but due to regulatory requirements, that process is taking a little bit longer. But we're trying to get there, and we're trying to do that in the shortest amount of time possible so we can continue taking the next steps to be able to adapt our business, to continue to serve our students in a safe way. Now, again, going back to, 5 o'clock today, we're doing a webinar. So 5 o'clock, we're gonna stream that here on Facebook, on YouTube, on our Success Center, on all of our platforms. So that way, if you are finding yourself at home, again, the time that you have right now, again, also asking the question of when you can't do anything right now, what can you do with this time that you have? And one of those questions is gonna be about, how do I educate myself? And we want to continue to provide education for you. So free webinar, 5 o'clock today. We're going to be talking about virtual tours. So Logan, who's our video genius here, he has a company called Hover Imaging, and he does virtual tours, and they're really neat. And it's a really cool concept that allows somebody from anywhere in the world, anywhere on the planet, with any internet connection, on any device, to basically have the next best thing to being there. So we're going to be talking about that later today and diving deeper into the whole virtual tours, because that should be something that you're implementing into your business as soon as possible. If you're a real estate professional with listings and your listing does not have a virtual tour, I don't care how much the property value is. I don't care how much it is that you're getting paid on a commission if this does sell. If you're not implementing ways to continue to market that property to people in their home. And this isn't just virtual tours. And, if we're getting specific here on things it is you could do, it's also, videos. Maybe you can't hold an open house this weekend, but maybe you could still have a video showcasing the property. Maybe you already have a video. Again, a lot of this is being prepared, because the more prepared that you are, and we're focusing on the economic side right now, which definitely does take a back seat to your health and safety and well-being, obviously. So make sure you're prepared on that front first. But then to drive all that, to continue to be able to provide for your family, to be able to buy food, price gouging is illegal, but at the same time, even at normal prices, you need to continue to be able to purchase these things that you need. And when your income is being compromised because of you not having control over your business, because maybe it's not your business, maybe you work at somebody else's business, and that person that has control, maybe they're dealing with their own stuff right now. Maybe somebody close to them is going through the disease. Maybe they're going through it themselves. And so there's a lot of things that are going to be outside of your control. But the question really is, how prepared are you for shifts like this, for changes like this? And if we look back at the housing crisis of 2008, now, I don't like comparing this to the housing crisis of 2008 because this is completely different, because the housing crisis of 2008 was driven by bad loans. That was the main factor that caused such a ripple effect for that to be such a deep problem for so long. Right now, there's been almost like, so with earthquakes, not to get completely off topic here, but with earthquakes, so earthquakes have these pieces of land that meet together at these fault lines, and an earthquake is when they move. But what happens a lot of time is these two plates get stuck together, and then tension builds up, and tension starts building up, and that's where you have the big earthquakes. So there is a lot of tension that's built up, especially in the real estate industry right now, again, for taking advantage of these tools that exist. Even something as simple as FaceTime or Skype. Those tools have existed, and if you've already used those, you're prepared to be able to use these tools when those become the more primary mode of being able to communicate with people. That goes a lot further than just a phone call. Maybe you're not even doing the virtual tour thing, but maybe you're going to go check out a property for a client, and you're going to FaceTime them to show them the property. There's a lot of ways it is right now, currently, and I haven't got any recent updates, so I don't know if we're all being quarantined in our home, and depending on where you are, that might be the case. Which, again, at that point, it's what can you do right now? What are the steps, and how do you learn? How do you make a plan to when you are allowed to work again, when you are allowed to go out there and contribute to the market again? How are you going to do that in the most effective way possible? And how are you going to be able to adapt to the changes that have just occurred? Because, again, people are going to be more comfortable with this whole telecommuting system because of having to work from home, of being away from. They'll understand more. This is forcing understanding that you could be somewhere without being somewhere. You might already understand that. You might understand the power of technology to put you in a place where you not are. But if you haven't realized that and taken advantage of that, that's something that you need to realize and take advantage of now, because that way you could still provide the service it is that you need to provide in a safe way that's safe for you, that's safe for your clients, where it again avoids interaction. There's a lot of things it is that you could do to, again, communicate. Right now, people are panicking, and people are panicking because they don't have information. They don't know what those next steps are. They're asking themselves these same two questions of how much time, how long is this going to last? When will things get back to normal? How long before I know this or that? So they're thinking about time. They're thinking about what are the next steps. They're trying to figure out those next steps. And it's easy for you to panic and think about, I got to go stock up on toilet paper, which, if you're not thinking through the next step, you end up doing crazy things. Like I was reading this article the other day of people, and who knows, maybe I'm calling them crazy, but maybe the person pushing 2 shopping carts full of gallons of milk, maybe I'm the crazy one for not doing that. Who knows? Only time will tell for something like that. But when you're not informed, you cannot take the appropriate next steps. So again, if you've got time on your hands where you're not having to do anything right now, take advantage of this to be able to learn how to expand yourself. Because if you're not pushing yourself to expand further, if you're not pushing yourself to be able to become more adaptable, to be able to do more for less, because that's over time, the market changes where the market is going to expect more for less. Or at least if you're going to be providing more, if you want to charge the same price, then you definitely got to provide a lot more to be able to charge the same price. And so this is a situation where you could choose to complain and be sad that the old ways of practicing real estate do not work. Like if you've been one of those agents that have been avoiding using electronic signatures, this is why you want to be a master of these tools. So when the market changes like this, you're like, oh, we already do electronic signatures. We already have electronic file submission. We keep electronic records. Everything's electronic. Everything's in the cloud. The cloud technology has been around for years. But have you used it? Have you taken advantage of it yet? And generally speaking, looking at the real estate industry compared to other industries, there is a severe lack of adoption of technologies that can make your business more efficient, that can make it, think of, and I'm not going to say that this is the way the world will become after this, but the world will be closer to this, where imagine not having to drive around to every property your buyer wants to look at because they want to see it in person. Imagine being able to do that virtually. That for a long time has been thought of as the future of real estate. And we're in a situation where, at least for the time being, at least for this temporary period, that is going to probably be the primary way that people could still look at real estate right now, is doing it virtually. Whether that's through a virtual tour, whether that's through even just the photos, having good photos of a property is a great start. But imagine being able to walk through a property without walking through a property. You know, with these virtual tours, this doesn't even require virtual 3D stuff, but who knows, maybe that's going to get quicker adoption now because of these changing circumstances. Because of the market changing, maybe people are going to be more accepting of that technology in the future because of this period. Who knows? We're not going to know until we know, but what I can assure you is the market is changing. It's just a question of how much. And again, it's not whether it's changing for the better or changing for the worse. That's just asking what side of this are you on. The market is changing, and what side do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side where it's getting better, or do you want to be on the side where it gets worse? Because if you try to maintain traditional models and methods that are being shut down by this shift in the economy, then you're not going to be able to prosper going forward. And what happens then is your business shrinks. And if your business shrinks, it's harder to continue to stay in business. And this is where problems happen. Whereas if you take an intentional effort to take on some new knowledge, some new training, to learn something that can benefit your career, something that probably already existed. We've been doing live streaming forever, but we never went and got the approval for a multitude of reasons. But it was also just because of, do we need that? But we should have got this a long time ago, because then we would have been more prepared for this. So I don't want you guys to have to go through the panic that we were of trying to figure out how we can adapt. And I'm here to tell you that this is temporary. This is temporary. The world isn't ending. The world isn't going anywhere. And you can put my name and stamp of approval on it. You call me a liar if the world ends. But the world isn't ending. The world isn't ending. This is temporary. Things will move on. We will eventually resume all of our in-person classes and our in-class schedules. Again, if you're in any classes currently and you haven't heard from us yet, you could call us to get an update. Chances are, if you haven't heard from us, that we don't have an update for you yet, but we do have updates that are pending. We're just waiting on a few things to fall into place before we could send out the updates to you for current classes. So if you do have questions about anything, if you want to take advantage of waiving the transfer fee to an online, if you're interested in taking advantage of the live streaming option, you call us. Our phone number is 813-333-2676. We're taking advantage of the technology that we already have and we already implement and utilize to be able to still be here to serve you. There's technology out there that'll allow you to continue to operate your real estate business, that'll give you the opportunity to set your real estate business up for success after this. Because at the very least, you need to be planning. You need to be planning your rebound strategy. Even if you are going to just try to use those old technologies and tools and processes, It's going to just take longer for you to be able to rebound, but if you make an intentional plan about how to get this fixed, then you're a lot better and more equipped to handle this. But if you just sit back and wait for things to fix themselves, if you're sitting back waiting, hoping that you'll get some money from the government so that way you could survive, that was something that was alarming to me when they're saying that they're going to give $1,000 to every person. I'm like, okay, all right, what's going on here that they're giving away 1,000 persons, and it's because the money is shifting. It's being deleted in one place, created somewhere else. Look, our camera's about to shut off. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we're not going anywhere. I have a few other things I want to share with you so that way we can help you plan for success with your real estate business. We'll be back in a few seconds. Stick with us. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching Ask the Instructor.
The most powerful tool to study for your real estate exam is the Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate. We've used our years of experience in preparing students for the Florida real estate exam to bring you the most powerful exam study tool available. In the Question Simulator, you'll be able to go directly to a particular unit so you can focus on the sections where you need the most practice. We have also included the percentages of each unit so you know which units are the most important for your real estate exam. Every question will immediately give you detailed feedback, which is almost always more important than the question or the answer themselves. After completing all the questions in a particular unit, you can go through question by question and review any that you've gotten wrong. You could also print out a report at the end of each quiz. The Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate is 100% mobile compatible, so you can practice with test questions anywhere you have your phone with you. Enroll now at questionsimulator.com and get ready to pass your exam.
Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of Ask the Instructor, where we're here talking about the impacts to the real estate industry. But just a quick update on Tampa School of Real Estate. So again, if you haven't heard from us directly yet, we probably don't have an update for you yet. But if you want to double check, if you have questions for us, call us 813-333-2676. Again, we're in the process of seeking approval for our pre-licensing courses to be able to offer those via live streaming. So that way we're going to be able to continue to offer education options for you. We're really stepping up our game on the information that we're delivering to you virtually because we're still able to do that here. I mean, we've got nothing better to do, so we're going to be here sharing the information that we have. Again, tonight at 5 p.m. right here on our Facebook, on YouTube, we're going to be doing a webinar basically about using photography and virtual imaging and virtual tours and videos to be able to still showcase properties right now. And look, this is our part of we need to disseminate this information out there because you guys need to know to do this. If you have a real estate license and you have listings, the way you could contribute to the economy to be able to do your part, because whether you like it or not, we're at war right now. We're at war, but this is a war very different than a typical war because this isn't where we're worried about another country coming to attack us. We're worried about this virus, this disease taking us all out. So that's the war it is that we're fighting right now, and that's why the government has done what it is that it's done. But this is also having an impact on this whole environment of everybody and how we interact with each other. So that's why we're doing this webinar on virtual tours, because people are at home. People are still on their computers, they're on their phones, they're on their tablets, they still want to see properties, and the only thing that's to be sold on this is if you want to hire him to do a virtual tour. But no obligation. We're going to tell you all about it. So if you're curious about virtual tours, if you want to find out about virtual tours and how you could implement them into your business, especially if you're in the Tampa Bay area, that's where his company is actually located. So he could actually even provide those services to you directly. Or at the very least, again, we're teaming up with him because we know he's knowledgeable. We know he's got the knowledge about virtual tours, and really just to help you understand it, how much it typically costs, what it should be looking like, what a good virtual tour is like, what should be done. Again, for the photos and videos, just kind of sharing some of that information. So again, we could give you guys the opportunity to know how to expand your business when you're able to expand your business, because that's what you need to be using right now. Your business might have died down and slowed down, and you've got to figure out how you could adapt. how you can adapt, how you can continue to provide value. Again, maybe that's just connecting deeper with your clients, your current clients, checking in with them. Just checking in. Hey, how are you feeling? How are you guys doing through this? Is there anything that you need? Is there anything I could do to help you? First and foremost, before we even talk about, hey, do you want to see my virtual tour for a house I've got for sale? Before that, connect with your clients. Connect with them. They're people who are probably also scared, who probably need a voice of reason. And even if your voice of reason is just about real estate, maybe they're a seller that's concerned about, hey, what is my house going to be worth with all this going on? Is this changing? Is this affecting the value of my home? And you might not know the answer to that yet. We don't have all the answers yet. We're constantly trying to figure out and taking every little piece of data that we can, but the key thing is that we're being proactive. So we're not just waiting around for things to go back to normal. If you just sit around and wait for things to go back to normal, it's not going to get to normal because things are going to be different. Things are going to have changed. I was thinking of this, of when is it going to be where people is handshaking going to become a thing of the past? Right now, people worried about, touching each other. Is that something that changes or is that such a tradition that something comes back? Who knows? We don't know yet. We don't have all the answers. You don't need to have all the answers, but you want to try to figure this out. Think of the time. Think of the next steps. Think of what you can be doing to drive your business further. So look, that's about all the time we've got for now. So if you guys want to tune in, we'll be here live at 5 p.m. with Hover Imaging. Logan Thomas, our in-house video genius here at the Tampa School of Real Estate. He's going to be sharing with you about virtual tours, photos, videos, and how you could be using that right now to be able to still showcase property to your clients. And maybe this isn't something you implement right now, right this moment, but maybe you're just getting the information right now because, again, we want to help you guys get through this. We want to help you succeed past this in this post-apocalyptic, it almost seems like, world. But once this all settles down, again, this is temporary. Things will go back to normal. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when they go back to normal. So take advantage of the time you have right now and plan out those next steps. So after this, things will become as normal for you as possible, or maybe they'll even be better than normal. But at the very least, let's at least plan for hoping we can make things normal once all the dust settles with this. So we'll see you guys at 5 p.m. I'll be here as well. Same place. We'll be on Facebook, YouTube, our Success Center. We'll be here 5 p.m. talking about, again, using virtual tours, photography, videos to be able to showcase property in this new economy where this is going to be much more of how people will want to look at properties. This is probably going to cause a major shift in how people look at properties, and it's a shift for the good because this could save us a lot of time if we're not having to drive people around to properties all over the place. If they could look at it and then the ones they still want to see or the ones they're extremely serious about, it's going to help us speed up this process, and it's going to help us serve buyers better. So that's an opportunity that exists, and it's a shift in the market that's happening right now. And if you're able to plan for if you're able to first and foremost realize the shift in the market, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to tell you guys about this because we realize these shifts happening in the market, and you need to be able to realize them too and be able to adapt your business so that way you continue to be successful despite whatever's going on in the economy, despite whatever's going on in the environment, despite whatever external circumstances. Because it won't always be a virus that causes you to have to change your business. There's always these external things that you can't control that force you to adapt your business, but it's a skill that you can hone. It's a skill that you can become good at, to be agile, to be adaptable, and that's what we're here to share some information with you about at 5 p.m. today. So we'll hope to see you here at 5 p.m. for our special webinar on using virtual tours to showcase real estate, but other than that, that is all the time we have for today. Again, if you guys have questions about anything, we're still here for you. We're leveraging the technology available to stay here, to stay available for you. So that way you can still contact us, whether that's via chat on our website, or you can call us 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. Call us, text us at that number. We want to help you succeed regardless of the circumstances. That's all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys at 5 p.m. Hey, so if you're thinking about starting a real estate career, it could feel a little overwhelming sometimes. Look, that's completely understandable. That's why we're here to help. If you haven't already, check out our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success, or if you don't even know where to begin, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that we can. Our phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Give us a call. We're the Tampa School of Real Estate.
Do you want a career that allows you to be in control? With a career in real estate, you'll get to call the shots. Whether you're looking at starting part-time or want to become the next top agent, a career in real estate makes it possible. Find out what it takes at tampaschool.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Chrisma with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.